welcome back to another episode of Dr. Glam podcast.
Hi, glammers. What's up? What's up?
And here, Dr. Far, my fiance, is with me.
Like always.
Like always by my side.
Always by your side.
Because she loves me and I love her. Our new song. Maybe we need to have some team song together,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Oh yeah, I like that. I will write it and then we will sing it together.
Okay.
Because both of us, we have a very good, nice voice.
Very good, nice voice. I'd like to believe so too. That we both of us have a very good, nice voice.
Okay, so this episode will be mentioning about what couple need to talk about before they get serious.
What do you mean by serious?
It means like to go to the next level, whether it's like they live in together or get engaged together, probably not yet in the marriage part, but like more serious together. Like they already find each
Before.
other and they know that this is it, this is who I want to be with. And the other partner also will say, yeah, this is who I want to be with, like no doubt.
All right. Now that we know what serious means to you, what do couple need to talk about? Are there
Yeah.
any things that they need to talk about before getting serious? Like, do they talk about if they want to have a kid? Like maybe I don't want to have a kid, but my partner wants to have a kid.
Yes.
You need to talk about it before things get serious?
Yeah, I guess that is very important, that you need to know if both of you are in the same
The same page or understanding. What are no's and yes,
yeah,
yeses?
because sometimes no is like, there are some people like, okay, I want to be with you, but I never want to get married,
Yes.
you know, so you need to know this.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna, you can think about this, that, oh, maybe later on I will change my mind and I will
yeah.
get
Or
married.
I'm
Okay,
open to it.
or yeah, I'm flexible about it. Yeah, you said I'm open to it. But like if the partner, they have different thing about getting married, you know, so
Yeah.
and also about dreams, right? They have to talk about their dreams. Like maybe one of them, their dream is, I want to live in Amsterdam, and the
Yeah.
other was like, I want to stay in Philippines. I'm never gonna go. So
I want to have, or I see myself in a farmhouse, right? And the other one sees themselves
in the city.
city.
Yeah.
So is this negotiable or non-negotiable?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes because it's negotiable. We say, yeah, we can have our home at city, but then later on, when we have that much saving or money or passion or time, we can also do that, you know. But if there is like, sometimes there is a conversation like, no, I don't want to get married. No, I don't want to have kids ever. This is something that you need to think about, that if you guys gonna be serious and go to the next level, you know, like next level, like living in together, or I don't know, get engaged, or whatever next level is for you, or giving each other's the key of each other's house, you know. So that is next level for some couples. Also, I think religion is also important, religion and spirituality, because each person have their own different beliefs and sometimes different religion. And there are couples that when they get together, like they're even married already and they have different religions. When you have different religion, you cannot really, sometimes you cannot match the understanding. Sometimes you might even get irritated, like, I don't believe in this stuff, but the other person, they are like so into it. So these are the things that sometimes couple, they clash.
Something that you really need to talk about, religion and spirituality, especially if you do not come from the same background of beliefs, especially for those who plan to have kids, right? Because
Yeah.
it might be confusing for kids.
Unless you're living in a country that when your kid is born, you don't need to have a religion or write
Yes,
down
yes.
what religion your kid has,
Yeah,
you know,
you don't
document
have
it.
to decide for the child right away.
Yeah, so in that case, you know, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about
something that not every couple, they talk about before they go to the next level.
what is that.
That is money.
Oh,
Yeah, so when
not everybody talks about this.
no, not everyone talk about it. Like when couple get together, at beginning, of course, when you're dating and you get together, you don't talk about like how much you are earning or how much I have earning or how much savings we have, what are our assets. We don't talk about it, right? Unless you know it. But it's important that when you go to the next level in your relationship, especially when you want to get serious, you talk about how money works for you. And is it okay for the couple to ask each other how much money you have in your bank or your saving or how much asset you have or how much do you own? Or is something that is so
Well,
personal and they shouldn't really know?
well, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to discuss this because it shouldn't be such a big deal. But in the world that we live in, is kind of a big deal, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I think if two people are being serious about building a life together, it would be important, especially if their spending is
Yeah,
together.
spending or building things
Yes.
together. It's important that they will talk about money. Like,
Yes,
this is how
yes.
much I earn, this
Open.
is how much
See,
I
the
have.
thing is, some people are not even comfortable to talk about their own financial standings
To
with
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's very important. You have to talk about your finances to yourself.
Yeah. Be honest
Be
about it.
honest about it. And because your partner is going to be part of you,
Yeah.
definitely that's something that you
Yes.
guys need to talk about.
Like how much debt you have. Your partner need to know. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're like living in together or you're engaged, then you're like, oh my God, actually everything that we spent together and travels that we went, all the like the car I got, none of it is mine. It was for my friend. That is like the relationship gonna be based on lie.
Yeah.
Like especially if the other partner will think that okay, their priority or what they want in their life is they want to be with someone who are settled, they already have enough money, something like that. And it's like they've been lied to because they choose you. You cannot tell that you choose me because of the money. No, it can't be that because they choose you because of all the things that you were showing off. And for the other partner, Baha, it's like security,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
okay, I can go to this relationship and I'm being secure. And the relationship starts with lie and, of course, all
Yes.
that thing. So
Honesty is
yeah.
important.
So it's important for me personally. It's important that when couples they go to the next level, they talk about money, finance, how much you're bringing on the table together, how much is yours, how much is hers, and
Which is ours.
how much is ours, and how much we are willing to save as a couple together.
Yes.
How much is mine, and this is mine. It's like my own earnings. I have this before I even meet you, so that is all mine. It's stuff like that that you really need to talk about, so things doesn't go like dirty, and
Yeah.
conflict won't happen. And I think that's very important. Okay, after this break, we're going to continue. Okay, we're back. Other stuff that is important to talk about is also love languages and communication style. You need to know like what is your partner love language, and also
I think you talk about those things
even before we get
even
serious.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, even before that, because
Maybe
we
talk more in depth.
yes.
Now that I have been with you for X amount of time, I realized that this is my love language.
Or about some memories that you
yes,
can talk
yes.
about, because there are some memories that make you this person that you are today. Like there are like some dark secret that you might or fears or frustration that you have. You need to talk about that.
In addition to all of those, another thing we need to talk about or couples need to talk about, I think it's style of communication.
What do you mean by that? Can you
Yeah, please
expand
tell
it
me
a little more?
expand it for me, please.
Yeah, because like when you are together, the next level is living in together.
Yeah.
But you never experience that you live in together. How is that? Usually, like when you're outside, you're living with your parents, and
Yeah.
then you have some argument or misunderstanding, you tend to text each other or not really ignore that problem. But when you go to the next step and being serious in your relationship, when you are living in together, you cannot just go and close the door and not talk. Or when you're lying down on bed, you cannot just move your body another direction and okay, ignore the problem. So you need to talk about what are the things that it help you to communicate. Like for example, you can tell to your partner that I really have hard time to talk about things or my mistake or confrontation.
Or I need a timeout.
Yeah, or I need a space to
Gather my thoughts.
yes.
Yeah.
Go
That's
on.
what I mean by communication style.
Yeah. So
I think, again, in a beautiful word, you and your partner should feel safe enough to communicate openly. Let's say there are styles of communication
yeah.
that we learned that are not right or are not productive. So, for example, your style could be I bottle up everything, and then suddenly when I'm exploding, that's when I am talking about my feelings and I think I'm being open, but it doesn't come across that way, right? It doesn't feel like you are being open to me. It feels like you're scolding me.
Yeah,
Example,
yeah.
right? So, talking about style of communication, I think it's not this is my style learned,
Yeah,
right?
it is my style.
This
I'm
it's
willing.
not this is my style. When I get frustrated, I should shut down for a while, so leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
It's This is what I do, and I am trying to change it,
Yeah.
so please
I
be
want to
patient with
grow.
me.
Yeah. I want to
Yes,
grow and I want to change it. And
yes,
how can we fix this
fix it.
together
Yes,
as a couple?
exactly.
And when we are talking about our communication style, always, or should I say, most of the time, it lead with our relationship with our parents. That is another thing that is important that couples talk about, their relationship with their parents or people that is close with them or with their siblings, so that the new person or new your partner, when they are moving to the next step, they know what are they putting themselves into,
Yes,
like
yes.
if you are someone who don't talk to your parents, or you're someone very close to your parents, or you guys are fixing things together or growing together, because as a couple they can help each other to do that.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I think it's important that couples they talk about.
Yeah, in addition to all of those, I mean, basically, in my idea to wrap up, or whatever, in general, things that you need to talk about is what's important for me, what are non-negotiable for me, what am I open to, areas that I'm working on or
Yeah,
I'm
my
growing.
strength, weaknesses.
Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes couples, they don't know, even an individual, like as a person, you don't know what are your strengths. There are like a hidden strength in you that you don't know. And talking about this, that is why I say communication style, talking about it, communicating to each other regarding your fears, frustration, your previous relationship or ongoing relationship, it will help your partner to understand you more. And if that partner really is willing to get more serious with you and go to the next level, they are choosing that. It's not only one side. It's not just you are hiding everything, then suddenly you get married, you're like, oh, ganun you're like that, I didn't know that. So it's like before you get married or before you get engaged or live in together, there are things that deeper than just a surface. You get to know it. And that lead us to the last thing that every couple need to talk about is, if ever you had a relationship before, they need to talk about that what break your relationship, your previous relationship. Why did you break up with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend? And you need to talk about that honestly. For me, you cannot just tell that, oh, my boyfriend cheated on me, that's why. So you need to talk about like why cheating happened, how it happened, because even cheating, even arguments, any other conflict between partner, I believe is not one person fault. Is always a two-way street. For us to be able to have a control in our life, there are some areas that we can be responsible for and we can change it, and that's the beauty of a relationship.
Yes, I agree.
And other thing is, usually people don't talk about
I
it.
thought this is last.
Yeah, but I just remembered something.
What?
Is sexuality. You need to tell your partner about their sexuality. If you're bi, like you're gonna be in a relationship, then suddenly we're engaged, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I also like boys, or I also like girls. So you need to tell that this is the type of sex, or this is your sexuality, right? So that your partner can be open about it, and like, okay, is this a partner I wanna be with or not? You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
Also, I don't know, sometimes sexuality is fluid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people could not know that they are gay, and they find out later. Even if they talked about it, but the person realizes later. I don't know. It's not true for anybody, but I guess it can happen sometimes. Example, like Carol in Friends,
Yeah.
the wife of Ross. She didn't know. The first wife. She didn't know she
But
was gay.
But the thing is, they think they don't know, but they know that they have some interest in some girls or some guys at beginning, so they can talk about it. Said, yeah, I'm straight, but
But some people
sometimes
don't even
I
know
admire
it's an interest.
girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
mean,
now I'm falling in love with
yes.
girls. Be ready.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
to,
sometimes they might not
yeah,
know.
sometimes they might
But
not know
if you know, you need to talk about it.
talk
That's what
about
I'm
it.
saying.
Yes.
If you know that you're bi and now you're dating a guy, tell the guy that I also like girls.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me personally, I don't think sexuality is such a big thing because what's bringing the two people together is love and not their sexuality. So if you fall for someone else, doesn't matter what the gender is. The importance is you fell for
Yeah, of
someone
course, when
else.
two people,
So it won't matter to me if my partner is super straight or super bi
yeah,
or super
what I'm
gay.
saying is to lessen the conflict. Of course, when two people get together is out of love, not out of money, not out of relationship with parents, not out of anything. They love each
Yes.
other. That is why we're telling that couples need to talk about things, certain things. And for me, sexuality is also important. For me, because I've been dating girls that they've been bi. And when I kind of liked the person and we went to the next level, I saw like she's also checking up on another guy. So I'm like, so what's up? And like, okay, I'm also liking guys. Okay, so you didn't like me in first place then. So it's good to know that the sexuality of the person for me is important. If you know it,
Okay, there we
don't
go.
hide it,
Yeah.
especially if you're honest and you accept yourself. Don't hide
Yes,
anything because
yes.
it's nothing wrong about that. If you don't know what's going on, like as you said, Carl in Friends, she didn't.
Carol,
Carol,
wife of Ross's
wife
wife.
of Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol in Friends. She didn't know she was.
She didn't know.
Yeah, so she didn't know. So she didn't know. It's not her fault. There's no,
Yeah.
nothing to say about that part.
Yes.
But if you know, say it. If you're lesbian, don't just get together with a rich guy. No, just this is just an example. Don't hate me. Other things to add on this?
Uh, I don't have none. None left.
None left, like talking about. So, us, how about me and you? What
Yeah.
is the thing that we talk about before us we went to the next level? Do you remember? Because it's been like 14 years ago. When we get together, like what did we talk about when we know, okay, we're gonna move in together? And what was the thing that we talk about and we went to the next level?
Is that a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question. It's just a question.
I think one of the important conversations we had during the start of our relationships, where did we want to stay? Because we were both new here,
Yeah.
and I remember that I didn't want to go back to Iran. And that was what I was mentioning, that I'm going to stay here. So that conversation I
Oh,
remember clearly.
yeah. So that was the conversation.
Yeah. I want to stay here and work here.
Yeah, so like the future plan, we talk about the future plan.
Yes.
It's very important that our future plan is aligned. So now, just going back to the sexuality, like we need to talk about future plan, because it's not because the future plan brought us together. It's just we love each other. It's like for us, it comes naturally because we know deep in our heart that we are going to the next level. And for me, it was important that the person that I'm going to be together with or I'm in love with, is she gonna stay in the same country that I want to build my life here? That's why suddenly.
Because I can't do long distance relations. Because if you had told me, no, my plan is to go elsewhere, then I would have followed you.
But also even long distance relationship, because some couple like they have, like my parents, they've been in a
Yeah,
long distance relationship, but then there's a point that you will choose a country that both of you gonna be together.
Yes,
You're not gonna
yes.
be long
Like it's
distance like forever,
forever.
right? So like even if you have a long distance relationship, you need to talk about how many years is this long distance for us, when we gonna.
Yeah, actually, I think that's why sometimes some couples really work when they're in a long distance relationship because they get forced into this situation that they need to talk about stuff, right?
Yeah, they talk more deeply about
yes,
stuff
because
because.
their next step is such a huge next step is to decide where is the place that they're not
gonna
long
be.
distance anymore.
Yeah.
Right, so they get like forced to already talk about that when two people are close together. It's not that urgent to talk about this stuff because
Yeah,
sometimes
because
you
they're
can take it for
together.
granted.
Yes.
We're together already.
Yeah, but when
that's
they
a very
are
good point. Yeah.
far,
Actually, that shows why it's important to talk about things that you mentioned.
I told you, it's very important.
Very nice.
So this is it, glammers. I hope you enjoy our episode. If you have any comments, just write it down and we're gonna read about it. And
is there anything we missed? Something that you feel it's important for couples to talk about it to each other before moving on to the next step or before getting serious? Comment below.
Okay, paalam.
Bye,
Don't forget to
glammers.
share and subscribe. Paalam. Okay, after this break, we're going to continue.
Dun, 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 dun.